In this podcast episode, host and guest Amjad Massad delve into the evolving landscape of artificial intelligence and its profound effects on society, technology, and employment. The conversation spans the fears and misconceptions surrounding AI, the trajectory toward artificial general intelligence, the rise of AI-powered coding agents, and the looming wave of job displacement expected imminently. They also explore the societal challenges tied to universal basic income, the psychological and philosophical dimensions of human purpose in an automated world, and the shifting cultural attitudes towards technology and labor. Finally, Amjad offers both a pragmatic and optimistic perspective on how individuals, especially younger generations, can adapt and thrive during this transformative era. The discussion opens by addressing the nearly coordinated campaign to make the public fearful of AI. Massad attributes this fear partly to communities deeply invested in the idea that AI will evolve into a superintelligent entity hostile to humanity. These groups often prize raw intellectual power to an unrealistic extreme and envision AI transcending human value, likening humans to ants in the eyes of this new species. However, Massad expresses skepticism about this narrative, emphasizing that consciousness likely sets a threshold for how entities assign value and drive behavior, implying that AI without consciousness may lack motivation to enslave or harm humans. He points out that this fear narrative is also propelled by financial and political incentives. A subset of billionaires and affiliated nonprofit groups, often self-identified as effective altruists, have promoted fears to influence policy and funding, with AI companies initially adopting some of these views to further monopolistic interests, particularly in geopolitical competition with China. However, this influence peaked around 2023-24 and has since diminished, partly due to internal issues in these communities and a pragmatic shift in AI companies seeking balanced regulatory approaches. Massad outlines why he believes that the current dominant AI techniques, especially large language models, LLMs, are approaching an asymptote or plateau in their capabilities. While they have shown remarkable progress, particularly between GPT-3 and GPT-4, recent improvements have been incremental. Unlike humans, who learn extremely efficiently from relatively small data, LLMs rely on vast internet-scale datasets that include much irrelevant information, leading to inefficiencies. He underscores how AI coding tools continue to improve because coding tasks provide binary, testable outcomes, allowing for more precise training signals. In contrast, natural language tasks and general reasoning have stalled in progress. Massad predicts that current methods represent a form of functional AGI, layered specialized intelligences that might look like general intelligence but lack true generality. He advocates for renewed investment in fundamental AI research to develop more sample-efficient, versatile learning methods that could lead to breakthroughs beyond current LLM-based approaches. A significant portion of the conversation focuses on the emergence of AI-powered coding agents that can autonomously perform complex, multi-step tasks. Massad shares examples from his company, Replit, where agents not only generate code, but also perform web crawling, bypass bot protections, and automate workflows across diverse domains, including marketing, sales, and even personal health optimization. These agents demonstrate a surprising level of generality, capable of orchestrating multiple tools and APIs to fulfill high-level goals with minimal human intervention. Massad highlights the game-changing potential of coding agents to empower non-coders and general knowledge workers by effectively acting as an internal software team at their fingertips. This shift decentralizes software development and significantly amplifies the productivity of individuals across industries. A new class of vibe coders is emerging, people who create impactful software without deep traditional coding skills, emphasizing automation and creativity over syntax mastery. With the growth of AI-driven automation tools, Massad warns of imminent and substantial job losses, particularly in roles involving routine knowledge work and coding. He estimates that one skilled generalist managing AI agents can replace multiple specialists, leading to an overall reduction in traditional jobs. However, he balances this by observing that entrepreneurship is exploding, with many smaller startups and niche companies emerging due to lower software development barriers. The transformation favors workers who swiftly adopt AI tools and leverage them creatively, while those entrenched in established workflows and unwilling to adapt face significant risk. Massad emphasizes that adaptation requires developing new skills focused on managing AI and automation, highlighting the importance of education and training for the current and future workforce. The phenomenon also accelerates decentralization in the economy, enabling entrepreneurs outside traditional tech hubs, even yoga instructors in rural settings, to start tech-enabled micro-businesses. The conversation then gravely examines universal basic income, UBI, and its challenges. Massad expresses caution, noting that UBI programs can invite fraud, distort incentives, and may erode the human drive to contribute meaningfully to society. Drawing on psychological insights, he discusses the power process, the intrinsic need in humans to solve sufficiently challenging problems to feel accomplished. Without meaningful engagement, people suffer emotionally and socially, a point also echoed by the Unabomber Manifesto that argues technology can undermine human purpose if not managed wisely. Massad recommends policies that encourage work or contributions to society rather than unconditional payments, though he acknowledges the difficulty governments face in balancing support with fraud prevention and economic consequences. He also notes social and technological trends such as video game addiction and crypto gambling as possible substitutes for real-world engagement, raising concerns about societal well-being if meaningful activity is scarce. The dialogue turns introspective on topics of consciousness, free will, and human nature. Massad identifies himself as a determinist who views humans largely as complex automata shaped by biology and environment, constrained by genetics and early development. He argues that although consciousness and spirituality might exist beyond physical mechanisms, this understanding does not materially alter how humans function or change in practical terms. The host challenges this view, emphasizing the importance of consciousness and free will for meaning and agency, leading to a nuanced discussion about intelligence being multifaceted, beyond pure IQ. Social skills, intuition, creativity, and spiritual insight all contribute to human success and societal leadership. They agree that intelligence is unevenly distributed and that much of social control arises from factors beyond raw intellect, such as charisma and systemic structures. Massad and the host explore how AI amplifies both centralizing and decentralizing forces in society. AI tools can empower mass surveillance, behavioral nudging, and information control by elites seeking to maintain power, a dynamic warned about decades ago by thinkers like James Burnham. At the same time, AI enables decentralized entrepreneurship, micro-business formation, and enhanced individual agency through personal assistants capable of navigating complex information landscapes. They debate whether AI will tilt society toward greater authoritarianism or foster greater empowerment of individuals. The erosion of trust in traditional media, exacerbated by AI-generated content and deepfakes, contributes to widespread misinformation and polarization. Still, the potential for AI to provide richer, more nuanced perspectives through smart aggregation and argumentation agents offers hope for improving public discourse if designed and adopted conscientiously. Massad offers practical guidance for younger generations and anyone feeling overwhelmed by AI disruptions. He emphasizes treating AI as a powerful tool, not a mysterious, undefeatable force, encouraging proactive engagement by identifying routine or manual tasks and automating them. Cultivating laziness smartly means systematically removing repetitive burdens to focus on higher-level creative work. He suggests starting with simple interactions like ChatGPT and gradually building skills using platforms like Replit to automate recurring tasks. Rather than fearing AI, individuals should view mastering it as a superpower that multiplies their productive capacity and opens new career opportunities. Massad sees hope in the entrepreneurial spirit flourishing among digital natives who intuitively understand automation and crave purposeful work rather than cogs in machines. The episode touches on the complex interplay of AI adoption, economic policy, and global competition. America faces a critical need for AI-driven growth to sustain its economy, whereas countries like China aggressively support AI development through state intervention and competition. This geopolitical rivalry influences American regulatory approaches, emphasizing Chinese competition as a rationale for restrictions. Massad remarks on the challenge posed by existing political structures, which may inadvertently harm economic vitality by over-regulating or failing to support innovation. He references historical patterns where oligarchies maintain control via welfare systems that foster dependency and division. Nevertheless, he maintains cautious optimism in democratic mechanisms, free speech, and the innovation ecosystem, preventing total systemic lock-in. Throughout the conversation, Massad champions the role of builders, entrepreneurs, and pioneers as crucial to navigating this era. Highlighting his own long journey with Replit, over 15 years before reaching financial success, he encourages persistence and continuous learning. He views those who consistently show up, experiment with AI tools, and adapt to change as having an immense advantage in shaping their futures. He stresses the significance of a mindset centered around progress, experimentation, and embracing technology's potential to amplify human endeavor. This entrepreneurial wave is democratic and accessible, empowering individuals far beyond traditional tech elites. Cultivating this new generation of builders represents the most promising path forward amid disruption. Massad draws a compelling analogy between the culture of ADHD, characterized by relentless task switching and boredom with routine, and the emerging needs of knowledge workers in an AI-augmented world. He suggests that the future workforce requires a capacity to rapidly shift contexts, innovate, and delegate repetitive work to machines. He observes distinct generational attitudes. Millennials prize capital and wealth accumulation, while many in Generation Z prioritize aesthetics, social capital, and direct personal fulfillment, often rejecting traditional career models. Yet many Gen Z individuals are highly adept with automation tools and entrepreneurship, representing a cultural shift toward fully embracing AI-enabled productivity and agility. A final theme addresses the deteriorating information environment and AI's role within it. Massad laments the collapse of traditional journalism's authority and the rise of an anything-goes media landscape, saturated with misinformation, propaganda, and AI-manipulated content. This creates a nihilistic view and erodes social trust, complicating democratic discourse. However, he points out that personal AI assistants could, in the future, provide users with the ability to contextualize claims, weigh diverse viewpoints, and independently judge truth, potentially restoring some epistemic balance. This hopeful scenario depends on careful design, transparency, and the promotion of critical thinking. Throughout the episode, Massad stresses ethical responsibilities for AI developers and users alike. While AI can be used to build harmful tools, such as exploitative sex bots or manipulative marketing, he argues that social norms, cultural pushback, and conscientious entrepreneurship can steer development toward broadly positive applications. He advocates for raising the social cost of harmful AI applications and fostering a culture where builders aim for impact that benefits individuals and communities. Transparency, user consent, and maintaining human dignity are key guiding principles in the evolving AI landscape. In closing, Massad invites listeners to explore his platform Replit, which offers accessible AI automation tools suitable for both coders and non-coders. He shares his personal social media as a venue to engage, learn, and keep abreast of AI developments and entrepreneurial insights. His message to all is consistent. Persistence, curiosity, and embracing AI as an empowering tool are critical to thriving in this new technological era.